Okay, so now that we've discussed what makes a girl stick around, the good sex, the mutual investment, and the making plans part of everything, let's talk about how to actually see multiple girls. Like, what do you do when you have the girl and she's hitting you up and she's texting you? What do you actually do? So we're going to talk about the benefits of having multiple girls. We're going to talk about how to manage these relationships, okay? So what are the first benefits, to seeing multiple girls and to having girls around? And this is one of the biggest things that I found, actually, especially as a guy who's going out and approaching women, is you can bring girls to clubs. A lot of guys don't do this. They, especially in the community, they separate. It's like, I have these two girls that I'm fucking, and then they're not a part of my life, and then I have all my wings. Right? It's like, fuck hanging out with just wings. Like, you don't want a cult of dudes around you. The girls that I date, I bring them out to clubs. Generally. I mean, now for me, it's a little weird because I'm working all the time when I'm in the club. I'm shooting infield and teaching. But if I am not teaching and stuff, a lot of times I'll bring my girls out to clubs. I'll bring my girls into clubs. Because when I bring a girl to a club that I know, that's social proof. That's proving to other people around me in the club that this is a guy who has women in his life. Right? Like, if I've connected with some bouncers in a certain club and I have a girl that I'm dating, I'll bring her and introduce her to those bouncers. Or I'll introduce her to the people at the door. This is especially important in New York, or if you're in a high-end city like LA or, Miami, where sometimes at the doors they may prioritize having a lot of, having girls with you. In Austin, Texas, where I am right now, it's not really like that. It's like, pretty much any guy even gets in for free. But in a city like New York, a lot of times I'll bring girls to the place with me. I'll bring girls to the club. Another benefit of bringing girls to the club is people are actually gravitated towards that feminine energy. People gravitate towards that feminine energy, and you get into situations where you have people wanting to network and talk with you guys. I've gotten into situations where it led to having threesomes, right? And I can actually end up getting threesomes because of me and my girl and bringing my girl in. And we're not going to get into threesomes too much, but bringing girls to clubs is one of the most valuable things you can do. You bring a girl to a club. You bring a girl to a club with you. When you bring a girl into the club, it's like that girl is like another part of the night. She's a part of the experience. Right? That's one of the best parts of having girls consistency in your life. You can bring them out with you. A lot of guys think that they can't even do game if they bring a girl out, but you can. Just make it obvious to her that you are going to talk and meet women. This is also the same thing as threesomes. Like, threesomes is another really good part of having a girl that you see a lot. A lot of the girls that I date are into other girls. And even if they have never been with another girl, they're open to the idea of it. Right? They're open to the idea of it, and they're able to set things up like that. It's like, maybe sometimes I'll have one girl that's really into girls and another girl that's open to the idea of it, and they'll hook up. And I'll be there. Threesome. Right? So, putting yourself in situations where your girl is a part of your life. You can also have amazing fucking friendships. Like, this is just like the act of just having a friend. Like, some of the best friends that I've made are girls. Some of the best friends I've made are girls. Now, it's hard to have a friendship with a girl if I'm not sleeping with her, right? Unless it's maybe a really unattractive girl. I don't meet a lot of girls like that. But most of the time, if I'm sleeping with a girl and I decide to keep seeing her consistently, she becomes a good friend. Honestly, not like a friend like my bros would be. Like, I have bros that are like friends that like I would like take serious injury for because they're just my like a brother to me. Right? I have a few friends like that. But I'm talking about friendships as far as maybe on a closer to a little more surface level, but these girls are still friends. Like, you can have really good friendships with girls. And there's some guys in the community that are like, women are not good for shit. They're, none of them you should be friends with. I know like guys in the community that are like all about that bitter shit. But no, it's like girls can be great friends. You can have amazing experiences when you add women to your life and you actually keep them around. Right? And you want to talk about kind of how you manage this. It's really important that you manage your relationships with women well. Because a woman, honestly, if you invest too much time in a girl, she can make or break you. Like, she can break you down, because I've been there before. And I'm not saying this as a jab to women. This is anything in life. If you invest your time too much in anything, any one person, it can be unhealthy. But a lot of guys tend to invest their time a lot in women because it's sex, and they get attached to, oh my God, I can finally get laid. That's again why you want to cultivate this actual abundance, this abundance in life where you have emotional abundance and you're not tied to any person, again, willing to walk away. But you need to manage your time. You need to learn how to manage the relationship. Like with anything in life, like any relationship in life, you need to learn how to manage it before you can fully enjoy it properly in a healthy way. And it's the exact same thing with girls that you're dating. Like girls that you're dating, girls that you see again, you have the amazing sex, you keep this girl around, you have to learn how to manage shit. You can't tie up all your emotions in this one person, in this one girl. And in fact, if she's a girl that's a fuck buddy, your emotions should not be very involved at all either. And I'm not saying this because it's bad to involve your emotions with a woman. I want to again make that clear. So I don't want you guys looking at this and being like, okay, have to be the hard, rock solid that guy that can't show any emotions. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you have to put your emotions in the right place. Hey, this is a girl that you are sleeping with and it's a sexual relationship. You need to be able to manage that relationship without sacrificing lots of your emotions, because that girl in this time in your life is not worth it. Now, if you decide to make her your girlfriend, you can invest a little more emotionally in that, but you want it to be in a healthy way. And we'll talk about that in the getting a girlfriend part, which is the next video. But let's talk about how to actually manage these relationships. How do you manage this fuck buddy relationship? So the first thing is, you have to be open and honest and communicate. A lot of guys are scared, and I get this question a lot. A lot of guys are afraid that when they get into a relationship with the girl, or they get into a sex relationship, we'll call it short-term dating relationship. So they get into the short-term dating relationship with the girl. They're afraid that the girl is going to be so attached and they're going to fall into the boyfriend frame. But you have to be open and honest about what your life is like. Like if you want to avoid monogamy and you don't want to slip into it, because some guys, they're very, which is good, I think, they're aware of their scarcity. They're aware that they really are emotionally invested in the girl, and they don't want to slip into that emotional scarcity. So you have to be open and honest with with the girl. You have to say, this is my life right now. I go out and I meet girls. You have to show her what your life is like. So part of being open and honest is admitting to the girl what your life is like. Like I'll tell girls, I don't tell them that I teach pickup necessarily. I don't tell them I teach success with women. What I do tell them is that I go out and I meet a lot of girls, and me and my friends, we go out and actually meet tons of girls. Like I have friends that are good with girls, and I go out and meet a lot of girls, and I travel a lot, and I'm not the kind of person that would emotionally commit to you. I'm open and I'm honest about it. When I'm laying in bed with girls, when I'm talking about myself. Again, I tell my story. I went over this in the last video about how do you connect with the girl, after sex. How do you have that mutual investment? I tell the girl, I say, I used to be really bad with girls, and now I go out, and because I'm good with girls, it's kind of like I'm the kind of guy that loves to have new experiences and meet amazing women and add them to my life. I love meeting new girls. I tell girls that I tell them that I'm an outgoing person. I love to party. I take a lot of action in my life. I like going out and connecting with new people, and I have amazing sex with new girls, and you're also fucking amazing, right? But I don't hide it. You can't be ashamed of it. You have to be open and honest. This is the number one reason why guys slip into unwanted relationships, because they like the girl and they want to make the girl happy, which is fine. She's a friend. But then the girl gets emotionally involved in it because you're doing everything else right, emotionally, sex-wise and all that, and it's good sex. And maybe the girl's in her own bit of scarcity as well. Some girls are in scarcity, actually. That's another thing. But what happens is the girl, you begin to invest in her, she begins to invest in you, but you're not open and honest about your life outside. And the girl thinks that all of your emotions are focused on her, and then she expects that out of you, and you fall into that reality. You fall into that narrative, and then you become trapped. It's happened to me. I've actually accidentally almost fallen into relationships, because me and the girl started investing more time with her, and she expected more out of me, but I never set a boundary of honesty. I didn't set an honest boundary where I was like, oh, this is my life. I go out and I meet tons of girls, and if anything, I was hiding the other girls from her. I would hide it because I wouldn't want her to think of me that way. I wanted her to think, okay, this guy really likes me. But what you have to understand is, you going out and meeting more girls to a girl, that doesn't mean that you don't like her. Now, it may cause her a little bit of emotional insecurity if she's really into you, or she's like, fuck, you may leave me for another girl. I'll explain how to get over that in a second. But again, that's good because that's a part of the emotional up and down. That's a part of the emotional narrative, right? If the girl's like, this guy can meet another girl at any time, that's that abundance we talked about. Remember that realized abundance, and then eventually leading to that ultimate abundance, that actual abundance. That's the start of it. So, but you need to be open and honest. You need to convey to the girl, hey, I go out and I party. I like meeting new girls. I like hanging out. You don't also want to flaunt it. You don't want to flaunt it. So a lot of guys I hope you don't take this the wrong way. Don't take this and think, when I have a girl that I'm into or a girl that I've been sleeping with, I have to flaunt it in her face that I'm able to get new girls. You don't need to flaunt it. Look at, I have some friends, and actually I've done this before, we'll send a video of them fucking a new girl to one of the girls that they're already dating. This could be us right now. I'm like that's not necessary to do, but that's flaunting, and a lot of times that'll cause a negative undertone, and the girl will not trust you. You'll destroy all the comfort you've built with her. But at the same time, you don't want to hide it. You don't want to hide that you're a guy who goes out and meets other girls and takes a lot of action. You can't hide it. The second you hide it, that's when you're going to be losing. Right? Don't hide shit. Other thing is telling the girl you appreciate her. I tell the girl that I appreciate her. I say this all the time to girls, Again, remember we talked about the complimenting earlier. The girl has to actually believe that you appreciate her. It can't come from a needy frame. Like you don't want to constantly tell her, oh my God, I like you, I'm so grateful. You don't want to be grateful that the girl's giving you her time. But you do need to notice the qualities in her that make you want to see her again. Right? So what is it that this girl's giving you that makes you want to see her again? For example, so I recently slept with a new girl here in Austin, and I was telling her, like, I was just laying in bed and kissing her up and at her body, and I was just like, you have a fucking amazing body. I love that about you. That's one. Then there could also be emotional things you appreciate. Like, you're really funny, you make me laugh, you're hilarious. Right? And I tell the girl I appreciate her. Part of being open and honest, when the girl knows that you're meeting other girls, again, her biggest fear, and this may come up when you're in a dating relationship, a short-term dating relationship, is that you won't fuck her anymore, you won't see her anymore, and you'll go to new girls. Now, this is more important when it's getting towards a more, monogamous type relationship, or where it's more of a boyfriend-girlfriend thing, even if you are sleeping with more girls. But at the same time, even when I'm in fuck buddy relationships, I still tell the girl, I really like you, like I really want to keep seeing you. I'll tell the girl that. And it's not a lie, it's not me trying to, again, build more of the narrative in this one. This is not me building a narrative. This is me being honest. This is me being open and honest. Like, I really want to see the girl again. Like, I really, really want to see you. All right? So I'm following this pattern of being completely honest with girls about my intentions. I'm talking about my life right now. I'm saying this is what I'm doing in my life, and that keeps the interaction, that keeps the friendship healthy, because the girl knows what I'm about. The other thing is time management. This is crucial. This is so important. If you're going to be sleeping with multiple girls, you're going to need how to manage your time. You're going to need to know how to manage your time. Because the biggest reason why a lot of guys falter and fail with women when they're dating new women is because they sacrifice their time for one woman. They sacrifice the time. They sacrifice their time and they prioritize one girl. Right? It's like that girl becomes the focus of all your energy. It's like I've had friends that have gotten into relationships with girls, and the girl becomes the focus of all their attention, everything. And what happens is the girl values you less because you're no longer scarce to her. Like she has you all the time, so it's not special when you're with her anymore. But you have to learn how to value your time, because you can slip into that scarcity again if you don't value your time. Your time is what maintains your abundance. Your time is what keeps your abundance. So you have to balance your work and your purpose with women. I have something that I call the twice a week rule. Some people have one time, I have it twice. So I never see a girl that I'm doing in a short-term dating relationship with, I never see her more than twice a week. The second I start seeing her more than twice a week, then I feel like it's becoming something more. And this is something that you guys can try to figure out yourselves and do your own measurements of where you're at. But I personally rarely see a girl more than twice a week. I will never go out with a girl more than twice a week. Usually it's once. But the other thing is, like, when you're seeing this girl, you have to set the boundary, right? So if you're following the right pattern, the sex is amazing and stuff like that, the girl may want you to fall into a boyfriend frame. But you have to set that time priority. You have to have that time management. Even in monogamous relationships, and we're going to talk about that again in the next video, but time is fucking important, because time is the one thing that you control, that you have leverage over fully in your life. That's like your life capital, your life spending money is time. Right? Time is the thing you have to play around with in life. You don't have enough time to play around with it in life. Right? That's the one thing that's expendable. That's not expendable. I'm using the wrong words here, but it's not expendable. Time. Like, time runs out. So you have to manage your time properly. Now, you have to properly manage your time and where you spend your time, where you place your time. You don't have all the time in the world to just place it anywhere. So time for me is the biggest boundary. So I never see girls that I'm in short-term dating relationships with more than twice a week. The other thing is not giving the girl the wrong idea as well. So remember, we started with the balance of, first, you have to be open and honest and tell her you appreciate her, what you appreciate about her, when you guys are hanging out, when you have sex. Make her feel that is your fucking time together. That's your special time together. But at the same time, you don't want to give the girl the wrong idea. You don't want to give her the wrong idea. And this is how you can do it. Some guys will ask, so don't compliment at all? No, I didn't say any of that. This is how you don't give the girl the wrong idea. Number one is hangouts have to be sexual. If you start hanging out with the girl outside of having sex with her, you're going to be giving her the wrong idea. Now, sometimes I like to play around with this and just kind of see what I can do. Because I work on different things. Like, I'm a person who likes to test everything, so I test these things in my relationship. And the reason why I wrote this here was because I found that when I hang out with girls not for sex, they start to get the wrong ideas that it's more of a girlfriend-boyfriend type thing. So you have to hang out with the girl purely for sex. That doesn't mean now that you can't do anything else with her, but it means that when you're hanging out, let's say you grab lunch with her, sex has to follow with that. The second you're like, oh, I'm gonna get lunch with you, and you bring her some gift, and you go home and don't fuck her. Now you've just built more emotions with her in the realm of exclusivity, or in the realm of dating beyond short-term dating, because you're building something with her, right? Sex, remember, sex is the priority with short-term dating. Long-term dating, it's not that. Long-term dating, it's that connectivity, it's that emotional support. Long-term dating, that's one of the priorities. But short-term dating, the biggest priority is sex. The sex has to be good. So if you reinforce sex whenever you hang out, you're going to be solidifying the short-term dating frame. So whenever I hang out with a girl, usually the girl's coming right to my place. Maybe we'll go out and party after that. But it's always the girl coming right to me, right? Because I'm prioritizing sex. Sex is what's happening when we're hanging out. And also, you want to have open communication about partners as well. That's another way that you can avoid giving the wrong idea. If you give open communication about partners. I'm constantly openly communicating with girls about the other girls that I'm seeing. Again, not flaunting it, so I'm not flaunting it in her face. But like while I'm next to a girl, sometimes I'll even ask her like what she thinks of my Tinder profile. It sounds really funny, but I'll do that. I'll test it. I'll be like, okay, what do you think of my Tinder profile? And I'll just lay in bed and I'll be like, let me see yours. It's like open communication, like, hey, again, I'm adding other girls to my life as well. All right, I have this frame and I admit this frame. I'm open and honest about this frame. Okay, so making sure that you manage your relationships properly is really important to seeing multiple girls. You have to prioritize time management. You have to have time management, and you have to be open and honest about your lifestyle. Tell the girl that you party. Like, that's why I use Snapchat. Snapchat is like, this is the biggest thing I love about having a fucking phone nowadays with game, because you're gonna use Snapchat. Snapchat's fucking amazing. It's like I'll literally go, and again, this is covered in the Snapchat manifesto as part of the bonus content for the Fuckboy frame, but I'll literally go and I will like show me partying with tons of girls and having girls in my place, and other girls that I'm seeing are like, you're doing this without me, I want to join, and all that shit. They're kind of like, leaving me out of the fun, and it keeps the narrative going. Again, it keeps the emotions going, where the girl understands, oh, this is a guy that goes out and takes action. This is a guy that has that abundance. This is a guy that has those other women in his life. And you keep that open communication, and you go from there. All right, so in the next video, what we're going to talk about is actually getting a girlfriend. How do you deal with having a girlfriend? Let's say you want to go from this seeing multiple girls to actually getting a girlfriend. Okay, we're going to crack into that right now.